welcome to another one of reviews. Today we're going to be checking out these Mechanix gloves, but first I gotta say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. It is December 25th, and here, at least where I live, we celebrate Christmas, and I'm hoping all of you are having a fantastic Christmas or holiday of whatever type you celebrate. Now, let's jump into this review. I'm going to quickly give you an overview and synopsis of every one of these gloves, all six. This is a Mechanix gloves roundup, so to speak, and most of them are still fairly new. We've been using them on and off, but they haven't got too gunky or too screwed up, so it's kind of nice. That's a testament to the quality. On the table, the gloves with the absolute most use are these tactical vents. Next would probably be the 0.5s, and then kind of declining order from there, fast fit, and then whatever. All right, so I'm going to go left to right. I'm going to quickly talk about the glove. I'm going to put it on, show you how it fits, explain the features that I think are the most notable, and we'll go from there. So it's not going to be a super in-depth, but enough to help you possibly make a decision on one of these models. So first up, we have the tactical vent. So these are all kind of brown, as you can see. The tactical vent are super lightweight. They're very vented. Even the leather on the palm has small pinhole vents in it, and the top does too. It is a Velcro closure. These are a size large. That's what I normally wear in a glove, and they fit pretty good. Got a tiny bit of spacing in some of the fingers, but not enough to be annoying. And then we do have a little loop here for retaining the gloves. I like that. I didn't have to add them. With my Oakleys, I actually had to sew a loop on. For Texas and for the summer, these are 100% my favorite glove. They're very similar to the Camelback vent gloves that I used to run when I lived in Japan. I really loved those. They were fantastic gloves. These are a close second in comfortability and breathability. The palm is all leather, very like soft leather, and then the top is like a fleecish fabric with a breathable, almost meshish fabric on the top. There is no reinforcement on your top of your fingers except for your trigger finger. That is where they do have a vented bit of leather. The rest are fabric. Biggest issue you're going to have with any Mechanix gloves that goes for all six on the table is this seam here on the fingers. With enough heavy wear, they will start to split and fray. I've had that with every Mechanix glove I've ever owned, but I've also gotten a ton of life in every set I've ever owned. Next up is the 0.5 millimeter gloves. I feel like they vent pretty good. They're not the most ventable, but I find them to be quite comfortable. And I also find these to have the best dexterity of every glove, even more than the vent here. Palm is also like a suede-ish leather. Here you have two fingers with that material. On the top is your trigger finger and your next one. I like the slits for dexterity here. It helps kind of keep everything good. And the inside of your thumb has like a little bit of that same material kind of coming over and wrapping. So it's more of like almost like a slide guard. And then you have the meshish material going out throughout the top. Velcro closure. And then on the top of these two fingers, you have almost feels like a, what's that material? It's not Hypalon, but it feels kind of like that on the top. Very comfortable glove. Also has the little ring for having your gloves on a D-ring or loop or some type on your kit. Next up is the Mechanix. These are called the Tactical Precision, I think, right? The TAA Precision Pros. The closure is a little different. It is a Velcro closure, but it's not the traditional Mechanix closure. They fit pretty good. I had to go up to an extra large of these because the large was just too small. The closure kind of reminds me of a Blackhawk Solag in a way. It has some rubberized reinforcement here, and it's made of this leather material. There's a lot more reinforcement on this glove as far as the leather. And then you have a little bit here with the logo Precision Pro. And then every finger has an articulated gash in it for movement. And they're all reinforced with the leather. And they also have that grippiness wrapping over every finger except for your trigger finger. The trigger finger has none of that material on it at all to kind of aid you from not totally just grabbing onto it. Thumb doesn't have it either. There is more reinforcement on the inside of the webbing of your hand here, and your thumb wraps it around. A little more padded than the other pair, but not enough to be uncomfortable or lose dexterity. And then the padlock rubberized material is extremely grippy, and they do have the little loop for hanging off your kit. These are my son's favorite of all the gloves. He loves these things. He felt the 0.5s just didn't have enough positive grip. I didn't feel that way. And then when we got these, he was like, oh, these are my glove. Next is your Mechanix standard glove. The original has the same loops for hanging off your kit. These don't have as much time on them as the others. I have a lot of time with these type of gloves. I've been wearing Mechanix regular fits since about 2004, roughly, and they're great gloves. I've had them in a plethora of colors and types. Biggest issue I've ever had is this seam here starting to fray and rip. It's very common on the Mechanix gloves with enough use. The back material is a little padded, but not crazy padded, and it is kind of breathable. And then you have the same extra material in the webbing of the thumb and reinforcements here to kind of help you not get totally ripped out. A little bit of padding on the cuff right here in this like rubberized material, and then it does have the Velcro closure. So not a bad glove. It's a good all-round middle ground glove. It's like the jack of all trades of the Mechanix line, in my opinion. It's got a little bit of the benefits of these gloves, a little bit of the benefits of these gloves. So if you're looking for just a generic Mechanix gloves to kind of do a little bit of everything, these guys will do it for you. They'll even give you some warmth in the winter. Next are the fast fits. I wore fast fits quite a bit when I was doing boat work. I liked them because if I didn't need gloves all the time, I could just take the gloves off, hook them to my gear, and then when I need to do line handling, grab these, slide them on real fast, and just get to work. That's the advantage of these, in my opinion, over all the other gloves with the Velcro closure. They do have the little hooky hook thing for hanging your gloves off your kit, and then you have a little extra padding in them, not a ton, but enough to would just make them a little warmer and a little more comfortable. Tops of the fingers have that like rubberized Hapalani type material on them, and then you do have the same stitch seam area on the fingertips. These have a little bit of play in the fingers as and a large for my hand, but a medium is definitely too small. So this is kind of kind of in between sizes. Palm is the same, like light leather with a little bit of venting here and a little extra padding. So very nice glove, very comfortable for the most part. A little warmer than some of the others. Easy to don and off, very quick to do, but for me, not as much dexterity as some of the others. Last is the impact. So I've used these the least. They are the newest of all the gloves. I'm not a big fan of these, to be honest with you. I got them just to round out and also just to try. These are a big fan with a lot of airsoft guys, paintballers, and people in the military when they're doing sims because of this extra thick rubberized padding on the knuckles and the tops of the fingers. That's one of the things I hate because it makes the fingers fit weird and it makes them bend and articulate strange. I don't find them to be that comfortable. Even when they break in, I still don't really care for them. A lot of guys, though, do like them because these will help absorb BB hits. Getting shot in the knuckles or fingers sucks, but so they will wear something like this. You do have more enforcement and padding on the palm here and here, and you have an extra bit of leather in here. I would like to have seen maybe this on one of these. It would have been nice. You do have some extra material here. This makes them phone touch sensitive friendly, and it is nice. It wraps up all around the thumb. And then you have that softer like fabric right here and the same meshish breathable mesh on the top, but it is a thicker, more robust glove comparatively. So overall, I think these all these gloves are good gloves. Oh, and sorry, I forgot a little lanyard for hanging off your kit. I think they're all good gloves. What I like the ones I like the most are probably the 05. The 05 and the Vent are probably tied in my for me. For dead of summer in Texas, is the Vents 100% are the best of the best, and then everything else I like the 05 millimeters personally. The Impact are my least favorite. I don't care for the extra padding. I don't like how the fingers articulate, and I just don't need it. I'll just take a shot to the knuckles. I don't care. If you're looking for a glove with good articulation, fitting your hand better, just better grip on the weapon, in my opinion, the 05 millimeters are probably the best one of all of those for that. As far as grip and holding on to things like keeping good positive control, that would probably be these Precision Pros with the padlock material. My son's not wrong. It is really grippy, but I don't feel I really need it personally. If you want the best gloves for hot weather, it has to be the Tactical Vents. They just breathe fantastically. The best all-round glove, just to kind of jack of all trades, is 100% the originals. Quickest donning and doffing goes to the Fast Fits, and most protection for what we're all most people watching this video do. Airsoft would go to the Impacts, but I feel the amount of dexterity you lose, vice the protection you gain, is not a good trade-off. Anyway, overall, all of them, great color. They are fantastic coyote brown. They would be good coloration, a good set for guys in the Army wearing the Scorpion, guys in the Navy wearing AOR2 or NW Type 3 or Type 2s. They're just a great glove. They match your kit. They look fantastic if they're comfortable. And for airsofters just looking for a good solid glove, 100% any one of these Mechanix will do you right. But if you have any of those categories I mentioned, maybe steer towards these. That's all I got, guys. Again, like I said, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I can't wait to see the rest, all of you in the new year. If you are local to Dallas, Fort Worth, or DFW, come on out to D14 for the swap meet on the 28th of December. That's a Saturday. They're going to have reduced price for play. I think it's going to be $20 for your play, which you want to play and do swap. If you're just there to sell, it's free. You just come to the parking lot, set up a table, and start hucking your wares. Hopefully I'll see you guys out there. As always, man, get out there, play some airsoft. LARP smarter, not harder. I'll see you on the field. Peace.